A Brief History of 7 Killings, Disc 11.
Barry DeFlorio. Shit just blew up in Iran. Well, it blew up back in January, but fallout's just reaching us now. Shit is blowing up all over the world. Chaos and disorder, disorder and chaos. I say them over and over like they have something to do with each other. Sodom and Gomorrah, Gomorrah and Sodom. All these family pics go in my bag, not the briefcase. Take them out of the briefcase, and that folder I should give Sally to shred. But should I take some shots first? Jesus Christ, I think I've caught some Nixon fever. I spend so much time telling people that life is not like fucking 007 that I miss the times when it really is. What I really want to do is sit back in this chair, take my shoes and socks off, and guess where shit will start flying first. Meanwhile, shit of a totally different kind blew the fuck up in Yugoslavia. And NATO boy didn't even know. He's the head of the fucking CIA, and he didn't even know. Lyndon Wolfsbricker. Now there's a name where you knew the parents spent an awful long time trying to figure out what the fuck can precede Wolfsbricker. Seriously, it sounds like something you'd call a Nazi fetishist. Wolfsbricker, the American ambassador to Yugoslavia. Don't ask me how he got it, but somehow Mr. Ambassador comes across a directive from within the company. A directive from clandestine service to station chiefs worldwide to keep all major operations secret from all ambassadors. First thing I thought was, come on. I mean, it really makes sense. Some ambassadors get the gig because the president likes them, and a good gig in a good locale where you can make a name for yourself, like say Cyprus, will set you up for senator, governor, or vice president. Some get the gig because the president can't stand the fucker. And what better way to get you and your potential threat out of the way than to post you in the Soviet Union or someplace nobody gives a fuck about, like Papua New Guinea? Either way, an ambitious jackass on a power trip is not someone who should be kept in the loop about anything ever, because more than anything else, he's a major pain in the ass. And here is Wolfsbricker, the shit kicker on the phone with Admiral Tunney, mad as hell that info is being kept from him in violation of standing presidential orders going back 17 years, by the way. So Wolfsbricker sends a message to the Admiral that the CIA is out of business in Yugoslavia until the order is rescinded. And he wasn't kidding. He said nobody was to come to the office or conduct any business in Belgrade or anywhere else in Yugoslavia. Mr. Ambassador was pissed. Worse, he was cursing the director about something he didn't have a fucking clue about. I heard the Admiral was so furious he spilled his hot water and lemon all over his pants. Calls went out all over the world to find out who knew about the directive and who authorized it. Of course, when they called me, I just said that the company was in transition between Mr. Bush and Admiral Tunney, and I followed orders. From whom? Not from clandestine, sirs, if that's what you're asking. I don't create policy. I make sure it's carried out. Funny, I knew the second I said it that I was never going to make the corner office. Something that will piss off the wife far more than me. But good God, 1979 and Jamaica is for a pleasant change the only place not going to shit. Well, not going to shit today. Flight to Argentina is next week, and Claire is happy for the first time in years. "Do we have to learn Spanish now?" says my little one. And just then I remember that we haven't been in a Spanish-speaking country in 3 years. Judging by the number of calls she's been making this month totally in Spanish, it seems she's alerting all her fellow bitches that the Eagle is about to land. Funny how for someone who couldn't stop bitching about how much she hated this country and wanted to go back to Vermont, she hasn't mentioned Vermont even once. I wonder if the new guy will want this paperweight. God knows I don't want. Or maybe I do. So distracted today. Shit, what was I thinking about? Wolfsbricker, Yugoslavia, the Admiral catching a fit. I mean, shit, the company was in effect breaking the law. My son could use this sharpener. Fucking office is not going to miss one sharpener. And even if they do, who gives a flying fuck? Like anybody in Jamaica is keeping any records. Sloppiest fucking place I've ever... Actually, that's not true. Ecuador was far, far worse. I'm definitely getting angrier. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because we're going back to fucking Argentina. I really don't hate Argentina. And it will be nice to actually eat in an outside cafe and watch sexy Argentinian women for a change. It's just this country. Shit. I'm not going to be the 10,000th white man to fall for this country. I'm not falling for it. Or at least, if I'm going to, I should at least waste my life smoking pot in Treasure Beach with all the other washed-up hippies. A quiet evening in Jamaica. The only place in the world right now that's actually quiet. Because Iran, good fucking Christ. To think that's where we were once headed to. And this fucking aw-shucks hee-haw president. Louis told me that not long after riding his redneck ass into office by tearing the company a new one and calling us a national disgrace, he's already given us more orders than Ford and almost as many as Nixon. Of course, he wouldn't see it that way. A permanent attack of the conscience, this one. This guy wants to save some black people abroad. Who knows? Because he can't do squat for the niggers in his own country. Let's undermine apartheid, sure. Because all you need are a pair of red shoes with heels to click. Undermine it for what? ANC has been funded by the Soviets for years because guess what? For all its shit, communism is more socially progressive than us. He wants to pump a lethal injection into apartheid and get rid of that Nazi maniac Ian Smith in Rhodesia. I know two of the guys working with BOSS, both of whom got their clumsy asses caught by the fucking Rhodesian secret police. It takes a whole new level of incompetence to get caught by an African secret police. 3 of us caught by those morons, and the 4th guy given up by BOSS itself. Boy, were those South Africans pleased with themselves. We shouldn't even be in fucking Africa. Leave that to the fucking Limeys and the fucking Belgians and the goddamn Portuguese. Still so fucking bad at colonialism after all these years. Jesus Christ, Barry. Somebody overhearing you might think you were turning liberal. Credit Louis at the very least to waking me up to how things really fucking go. Or maybe it was William Adler. Sally is wondering if they will reassign her, too. My secretary's developed a little crush on me. It's great to know somebody has. The wife is already teaching Aiden Spanish. Timothy doesn't even remember speaking it. Boy, was he mad when he heard we were leaving. Idiot business this, he said, and threw his fork on his plate. Bad enough that he now refuses to eat American food and only wants crab and yellow yam and corned pork and breadfruit. I had to remind the little bastard who was the man around here. Poor kid. He thinks I don't know about little Jamaican girlfriend. Hell, I knew it from the second he told Aiden that superhero toys were idiot business. Mind you, they were his toys. Damn kid thinking he knows what love is. Love is settling. That's really all it is. Fucking settling. Louis Johnson, my little compadre in '76, got sent back to Central America. I'm guessing the School for the Americas needed some hand-holding this year. Gotta keep building that army to vanquish the forces of socialism and communism and whatever ism washes up next week. Funny how we never liked each other. Actually, I couldn't stand the wife-beating scumbag, but now he calls me all the time. Some shit about just needing to hear more than one sentence in English. I could have said, well, if you stopped beating the crap out of your wife, you might actually have somebody to talk to. But that might have been tacky. But we're talking about Clandestine, which he's part of and I'm not, and who really fucked things up. He thinks it's Admiral Tunney, a man who even on a good day has just a cursory knowledge of how things work in the company. Tunney's a pencil pusher, I told him. He's just biding time. Besides, who trusts a man who drinks hot water with lime instead of whiskey or even coffee? What next? Peeing sitting down? No, sir. Nixon's the one who really fucked up the CIA. He never trusted the company to begin with. Still, you gotta admire the simplicity of his worldview, that the world is populated by people with him or against him. And shit, I've never even met the guy. Because here was the problem with the weasel. You can't go whole hog, downright creating a fucking culture of surveillance, and then gripe when stuff gets leaked. Means you have so many people watching that you can't even keep tabs on who's watching who. Worse, to give the job to a fucking Bay of Pigs alum, and we know how competent they are. Say this about Louis. He pretty much knows and refuses to keep anything secret. The defense secretary snooping on Kissinger, or so I heard. Hard to believe Kissinger wouldn't know about it. White House and Camp David bugged. Kissinger himself tapping his own aides and people, including me, I'm assuming to contain leaks, and yet the leaks keep on coming. The problem is they picked somebody both me and Louis knew very well. Hell, when Louis called me, he was hiccuping in the phone how he couldn't stop laughing. Chip Hunt. Holy fucking horseshit, DeFlorio. Here's a fuck-up that makes a fuck-up go holy fuck. Now that's a fuck-up. Jesus Christ, man. How does he do it? The man single-handedly ruined Uruguay. You think Tricky Dicky picked him because he's reading Chip's little spy novels? Anyway, that was all she wrote. Besides, it was over 8 years ago, and Nixie's own little culture gave him a major fuck in the ass. And when he went down, he took nearly everyone with him. Funny, when Bill Adler called me, that time in '76, I blamed him for Richard Welch's death in Greece. Said some bullshit about him leaking names of company people and jeopardizing their safety, but it was all bullshit. He knew it and I knew it. I just had to say it. Fucking Nixon killed Richard Welch, telling us to spread all sorts of shit in Greece that just blew up the war in Turkey over Cyprus, and then worse, letting that crap get leaked. Next thing you know, Richard Welch and his poor wife, all killed, all fucking dead. Jesus Christ, a station chief. Fucking Nixon tried to ruin the FBI too as soon as Hoover croaked. And hell, who gives a shit in 1979? Did I think that or say it out loud? Nobody's here, and it's a quiet Kingston evening. I really need to go home. Claire's bitching about having to move 1 second, then calling all her friends in Buenos Aires as if they're really her friends to act the American school has gone to the dogs. Meanwhile, I'm trying to think, who do I know still in Argentina? And who would I actually want to talk to? God, maybe we can just go back to simpler times where I meet with whoever is there to make sure the president's hands don't get dirty, brief them about what's going on in their world, slip them some cash and promise these itchy-fingered bastards that sure I can look into the procurement of some new toys. And if they were especially good, we'd even organize a nice little holiday at Fort Bragg. Lord, it's a hell of a thing to miss days when work actually worked. Me in Argentina, hearing from an agent in La Paz that we finally got Che. I don't even know why I'm thinking about Che Guevara. I was thinking about Argentina and how much it's changed since 1967. Claire, the way she is on the phone, you'd think she's just slipping back into a space her friends kept warm for her. That's my wife, always assuming everything is exactly as she left it. I think she's just happy to get the fuck out of Jamaica. When she told me that she and Nelly Matar had had words, boy was she pissed off when I added, finally. Such fucking hypocrites, these Syrians in Jamaica. And also goddamn vulgar. I mean, I know they were shopkeepers, but at least the Chinese are never like that. I merely asked if Matar's cash and carry downtown was her family's place. I mean, nothing's wrong with an honest business. For some reason, she took great offense. Can't imagine why. Oh, please, Barry. Either you're a shopkeeper or you're a snob. You can't be both. Besides, If I had to tell her one more time that the kinds of hats she wears are only meant for days of the races, I would have just yanked the damn thing off her head. Always thinking about the other person. That's my wife. I am an accountant, an efficiency guy. This is why the strangest bunch of fucking people think they can unload whatever shit on me. I mean, I get it. Nobody seeking crucial info would ever think to ask Barry DeFlorio. One other thing the missus doesn't seem to know. Argentina is still in the middle of a fucking shit show. The Egyptians used to strip their rabble-rousers buck naked, bolt them down on all fours, cover them in bitch piss, and let a bunch of dogs loose that would mistake them for bitches in heat and butt-fuck the poor losers. And this Shah was worse. Yet 4 days into February, shit hit the fan. Roger Thoreau called me. Bill Adler was at best a fucking mediocre agent, but Roger was the real deal. Maybe the best we got that was actually American. I knew somebody in Washington who knew both Roger and me. Asked if I wanted to see his report on Iran. Thoreau said something way different from what the company told Carter. He was right there on the ground and said that it was like Cuba in 1959, only worse, because this was all religious. I can see why a report like this wouldn't make sense to Carter or anybody. Religion? Revolution is liberals, hippies, communists, Baader-Meinhof bullshit. And the thing driving this was religion? Come on, it's 1979. Half of these Saudi and Iranian kids were living in Paris, wearing tight jeans, getting butt-fucked more than the average American fairy. How did religion rise again? And then Roger Thoreau got kidnapped. They roughed him up pretty bad, accused him right away that he was CIA, set up some sham court, convicted him and sentenced him to death all in less than a month. Thank God, or Allah, I guess, that Roger knew his Quran. When I finally spoke to him, he said, "Barry, I demanded to see that fucking mullah." When the fucker finally showed up, because believe me, he took his time, I said, "Look, you can go through it and go through it again, but nowhere in the Quran is this kind of action sanctioned. And if you do this, you go against the will of your own God and prophet." They let him go. And even with all that, 2 days ago still came like a fucking surprise to Washington. You gotta wonder, how does something manage to be surprising and inevitable at the same time? I don't think she's read anything about Argentina. Probably best to leave that alone for now. Besides, I'm sure that things haven't affected her friends much. Will she at least miss the house? She certainly put a lot into it, but she was always like that. Even if she was staying in a hotel for 2 days, she had to rearrange it, make it hers. I'm trying to think of what I'll miss, other than jerk chicken. What the fuck, Barry DeFlorio? 3 years and you sound like you were visiting via the Love Boat. Maybe I should tell her that neither of the poets she used to invite over for dinner has been heard of since 1977, or the dancer, or that white-haired homosexual Umberto she thought was so charmingly communist. I can see him wearing white head to toe, right up to the very last. When that bomb blasted its way through that Buenos Aires apartment building in '78, for a second I thought it was De Las Casas. But he's back here in Jamaica, probably to finish what he couldn't in 1976, and Lord knows what that will be. I do know that he is not to be touched. Worse, he knows it. And nobody is replacing me, though somebody is definitely replacing Louis. Far as I know, he was even supposed to have landed a few days ago. I don't know if my not even knowing his name is clandestine being efficient or the agency being incompetent. At least somebody thinks it's not wise to close the book on Jamaica just yet. You never know with this country, these people. Sometimes it sounds like I'm talking about the Philippines. I still want to know who wrote that damn report and who authorized it. Or how fucking soft is this president that we would need to goose up that report so badly. Not in a revolutionary or even a pre-revolutionary situation. Jesus Christ. Then 3 days ago, the rebels finally overwhelmed the Shah's troops, and everybody is looking on stunned. Everybody but Roger Thoreau. And I'm looking at an office that I won't have to ever see again, wondering how much I tell my wife. Umberto is going to hit her the most. She's been calling their home for weeks now, convinced that they have either moved or she must have written down the wrong number. At one point, she even asked me if they gave her a wrong number on purpose, and I really didn't know what the hell to answer. The weirdest thing is that when she asks her other friends about him, they have nothing to say. I mean, it's so strange that none of them say anything. Not even the Figueroas, who live only 5 doors down. Even if they don't know what specifically happened to him, they know something happened. Politics shape policy. That's been on my mind all week. That and Bill Adler. He called me again 2 days ago, funnily enough. Both him and Louis. He was feeling particularly pissed off about being finally kicked out of the UK. Come on, Bill. As small as America's dick is, those limeys will stretch across the Atlantic to suck it. Good point. I knew I was biding time, but was kind of hoping, you know. Bad form. Even for an ex-agent. Not ex. Fired. Tomato, tomato. How's Santiago? I hear it's sunny in the summer. Really, DeFlorio. Brzezinski won't find this conversation half as interesting as Kissinger did. Maybe not. But didn't you hear? We're cutting costs all around. Anybody waiting for their phones to be debugged is shit out of luck. Speaking of cutting costs, how's that broken record you can't seem to fucking fix? Touchy. It's one motherfucker of a February in case you haven't been paying attention. Everybody's touchy. What do you want, Adler? What makes you think I want something? Aw, honey. You called because you're all lonely. Never met a guy in the field who wasn't, DeFlorio. Then again, you're an accountant. You know, if we're going to be friends, you really have to stop calling me accountant? No, DeFlorio. Don't be so smarmy, DeFlorio. It doesn't suit you. If you knew what suited me, you'd call me Bear or Barry or Bernard, like my mother-in-law. Now, for the second time, what can I do for you? Did you see all that stuff about Iran? Does disco suck? Just making chat. No, you're making small talk. I heard John Barron's writing a sequel to his KGB book. Might as well. Lord knows we have to ferret out those KGB sleeper agents. And the traitors who support them. Who would that be? The Bill in his book? I read that I'm an alcoholic skirt chaser who's constantly broke. So you've read it? Of course I've read it. I'm surprised that you're taking this wannabe agent so seriously. His book is at the very least as entertaining as yours. Fuck you. Have another book coming, by the way. Of course you do. You have at least 1,000 more lives to fuck up. By the way, how's your buddy Chaparov? Who? Nifty. Very skillful. But shit, Adler. Even the Daily Mail knows you've been talking to Chaparov. Don't know who? Edgar Anatolievich Chaparov, Novosti News Agency in London. He's KGB. Go ahead. I'll just sit here while you act all aghast that you didn't know. Mind you, aghast is hard to pull off without me seeing your face. Chaparov isn't KGB. And I wear briefs, not boxers. You've been in contact with him since 1974 at least. I don't know anybody at Novosti News. My dear Bill, you will simply have to do better. First you say you don't know him, then you say he isn't KGB. Should we pause while you get your thoughts together? If you didn't know Chaparov was KGB, you're either very stupid or very gullible, or maybe you just need some money. How much did Cuban intelligence pay you? $1 million? $1 million? You don't know Cuba. Lord knows you do. What do you want, you fucker? Information. How much? A treasure trove? Wasn't that your exact words to the KGB when you tried to whore yourself out? I'm not asking for information, prick. I'm giving it. Some of it might even concern you, fucking Yale boy. Hey, don't shoot me because you swam out of Tacoma, Florida. Whatever you're selling, I'm sure as hell not buying. This conversation is being recorded. We've already established that. No worries. It'll all be evidence for later. For when I turn myself in? For when we fucking catch you. You accountants can't catch a breath. This from the case officer who got caught trying to bug an embassy at 5 a.m. Did you know you were in the horrors book? What's the horrors book? Can't confirm that's what they're calling it, if they're calling it anything at all. My biggest regret in life, I swear, is to have put my book out before this shit broke. I don't know what you're talking about. And one day, we're gonna find your fucking leak. One day soon? Sooner than you think. This is an awfully long phone call. You sure you can afford it? I really have to close up shop, Bill. Oh yeah, all that packing and saying goodbye. Wonderful. Poor President Ford. He was on the fucking Warren Commission and didn't know we didn't tell him everything. What are you going on about now? The Horrors book. Who gave it that name? You gotta wonder. No, I don't. I swear sometimes, Adler, that you're not talking to me at all. It's like we're two girls and you're talking about some boy just so the boy can overhear you. A few years out of the company, and you're like those crackpots thinking aliens abducted you, just to stick a dildo up your ass. Geez, maybe it's not a book exactly, maybe it's a file. A file. In the CIA. The CIA has a file, and top secret to boot. How did you ever get this job? Don't insult my intelligence, DeFlorio. I don't fucking have to. I'm telling you about a file Schlesinger compiled for Kissinger. The same report he presented to Ford on Christmas Day, 1974. You're talking to me about 1974. Dude, I hate to break it to you, but we've got a new president. And even he's not going to be president much longer if today gets any worse. Iran's blowing up all over the world press, and poor William Adler, just now passing shit that everybody else shat in 1974. Kissinger presented a version that dressed up the really juicy stuff. Schlesinger's original file is still floating out there, and I hear it's a doozy. Well, you've already had my opinion on your opinions, Adler. Running out of writing material, buddy? You're a garbage man, DeFlorio. The only reason you're not interested is that you're not high enough to be interested. Schlesinger's little memo has it all. All the little things that the average American thinks some spy novelist cooked up. The breakdown of Tom Hayden's last shit. Who Bill Cosby's fucking. Mind control after LSD. Assassinations all over the place. Lumumba in the Congo, for example. Lots of stuff on your buddy Mobutu. Correction, Frank's buddy. Well, you, him, and Larry Devlin are interchangeable. You Latin American African boys. Did you know that Haviland's being pushed to retire? Who? Haviland. The man who trained you and me? Sorry, I forgot, you trained yourself. You realize if the American public or even Carter got hold of that book, it would be the end of the company? Your job would go down in fucking flames. I swear at times I don't know if you're a fucking idiot or if you're just pretending to be one on TV. What kind of world do you think this is, Adler? You are the one agent who doesn't seem to know what's going on this fucking planet. You think your buddies in the KGB are on some humanitarian mission? Is that what you think? Ex-agent, remember. And you don't know what I think. Oh, I know exactly what you think. Originality is not one of the things you got going for you. I should have known you wouldn't have given a shit about this horrors book. You're the worst of the lot. It's one thing if you approved of what your government is doing, but you don't even care. Just punch the clock and cash the check. I love how you assume you have me figured out. It's one of your worst shortcomings, Adler. Thinking you can read people when you can't read shit. Oh, really? Yes, really. You know why? Because in all this talking about your horrors book, and you're breaking it to poor me that my government has been engaged in all sorts of fucked up shit, in all your failure to spark my interest even once, it never occurred to you that maybe I'm not interested because I wrote the motherfucker. What? What did you say? Are you fucking shitting me? Do I sound like I'm remotely interested in shitting you? Yes, you fucker. This little bookkeeper wrote it. What? You think the Secretary of Defense wrote the damn thing himself? You know, at first I felt kind of slighted that I didn't appear in your book even once. Then I realized you really don't have a fucking clue what I do you? You have no fucking idea. Because if you did, you wouldn't have wasted my time for the past 6.5 minutes. Instead, you'd have fallen out of your fucking hammock, and while you're on the floor, thank your commie God that I'm not the son of a bitch they sent after you. By the way, your Sunbeam Coffee Master's broke, and the view from your new apartment fucking sucks. Tell Fidel you want an ocean view. Of course the son of a bitch hung up, and he hasn't called back. I suspect that he'll never call me again. Fuck this desk, fuck this office, fuck this country. Fuck this year already. I'm going home.
Papa Lowe. Kidnap Mick Jagger and make 2 million. Me and Tony Pavarotti, we out in a car, riding up and down a road that twists and turn like river, riding right up next to the windy, wavy sea. Josie Wales didn't come. Racing for the curb, the Ford Cortina. Swerve left, then swerve right. A wave just bust on rock and froth splash and hit the windshield. This is how close to the road is the sea. How close we is to the sea. And Pavarotti still driving, cooler than coolness's mother. Tony Pavarotti with his nose like a Pavarotti. Can't remember him modern our father. Can't remember him growing up, or doing the things boys do when growing up, or getting into crosses boys get into. It's like he be the sidekick in the movie, the bad hombre who just show up in the middle and start walk and talk like we was waiting for him all this time. Tony Pavarotti just is, and you think hard about what you need before you call him. And he will lie and wait in an old building window all day, or up in the tree, on the hill, all night, or in the wall of garbage in the garbage lands, or behind a door for as long as it take for him to become a complete shadow and take out your enemy from 300 feet away. He do work for Josie Wales, but not even Josie had whatever it take to keep Tony at him side permanent. And plenty people side with Josie permanent these days. We don't talk. When I stay home, I stay inside, and when I go, I leave the country. I don't go to him doorstep. But Tony Pavarotti is man who serve every man and no man. And today, all day, he in my employ, in the left seat driving and hugging the tin road, too narrow for such an angry sea. Learn this. Jail is the ghetto man university. Slam, clink, slam. Babylon come for me 2 years ago. Is it 2 years yet? I try to not forget any time Babylon encroach upon the eye. In the truck to take me to jail, a policeman spit in me face. Him knew. And one, when I say pussy hole, you spit smell like bubble gum, gun butt me between the head so hard, that is when they throw water on me in the jail, I wake up. Both police dead before 1978, thanks to the man beside me, who carried them to me as soon as me come out. Learn this, all nice and decent people. Mama Lowe didn't raise no son who walk with he back straight to get spit on like mangy dog. And this here Papa Lowe, never ever forget. Man like we don't forget, we collect. We take them to the end of Copenhagen City, where only John Crow live and rich man shit drain into the sea. And one start to wah 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 about how him wife not working, and he have 3 picnic, and me say all the worst for them now. They have a dead pussy hole for a daddy. But back to when them send me to jail. And even if you could Jim Screechy slip through the system, you can't slip through the iron. Iron is iron, and iron stronger than lion, and steel don't budge. The bars say there's no way out. Just cease and settle. And if you ever plan to travel, you better tap inside your head and tell it to start traveling. This must be how man end up reading book they otherwise wouldn't read, and write book too. But the bars also say, nobody can come in and stop the learning. So maybe a learning is a visitation in your head, and maybe a jail make you still in the spirit so that you're ready to hear it, because gentlemen's, nobody, and I mean nobody, can learn nothing if them not ready to listen. The car hit a bump, but Tony Pavarotti don't notice. I wish I didn't jump like a man who can't drive a car. He the only man I know who drive with glove. They cover him palm, but show him finger with a cutout for each knuckle and the back of him hand. Brown leather. The sun running away before we get to the bay. It don't have what it take to witness when man get dark. The moon now. The moon is better company, especially when it full and fat and deep, like it just rise out of blood. You ever see a moon rise? I want to ask Tony Pavarotti, but I don't think he would answer. You don't ask a man like this them kind of question. I pull 2 cigarettes out of my pocket and give him one. He stick it in his mouth and me light it. Palisado Strip, past the airport on the stretch to Port Royal, where James Bond drive the man off the road in Dr. No. We drive along until we reach a fort that built from before a man like me come over on the slave ship. 1907 earthquake. Half of it sink into the sand, but if you drive fast, it looked like the fort was just now rising out of it. You see cannon peeking out of sand, and you wonder how tall and proud it must did look when Nelson hop on him hobleg around it. Nelson we learn about in high school, along with Admiral Rodney, who saved Jamaica from the French. Who going to save Jamaica now? Farther down this road is Port Royal and Fort Charles that everybody don't know. But few people know the beach bush hide 2 more forts including this one. I stick my head out the window and watch the last sun streak turn orange, then pink, then nothing, and I can hear the sea growing wild even over the car engine. Me and Tony Pavarotti driving to the last fort in between the sinking sun and the rising moon and the disappearing shadow. We make a sharp left through prickle bush and swing over a rough bump. Me hold the door like a man that can't drive. We ride over a mound that look like a mountain top, because from the top is a steep drop right down to the beach. Bumpy ride down, swing to the left and right. Pull your hand into the car before the prickle bush slash the window. My hand would be bleeding right now. Down, down, down. The car swing left again, then right, then jump. We going roll over right now, have to. How this blood clot man can so calm and don't say nothing but grip the steering wheel like race car driver. The car skidding down, me about to shout out, hey! But then we brake. Tony Pavarotti slow the car down to crawl as we come the thin strip of beach up to the entrance of the fort. No gate, so we drive in. Kingston is a now place across the sea. The car stop. Tony wind down him window and climb out in one swing, like it's the style. Him on the right, me on the left. We both reach the trunk the same time. He stick the key in and fly it open. If the first boy could scream, he would scream at the weak light. This is for sure the most brightness them see in 3 hours. It did take all me rage to push the last 2 in the trunk myself, for me would have deal with them from long before, almost 2 years before. But by now, me not have none of that left. Nothing left to pull the first one out, but 2 hands. Him light like a feather when me grab him by the collar. The handcuff behind him back stained sticky with blood, and his wrist white where black skin's supposed to be. He smell like shit and iron. Boy bawling over tears so him cheek and eyes red and him nose have booger running down over booger. The man Tony Pavarotti pull out just the same. Both of them stink and also wet from them own pee-pee. On the way over here, me did all set to ask them, you remember the beach pussy hole? You remember when you pull gun pon the singer, 'cause other man fuck up your Samfi business but you want him to pay for it? You did know then that him mark your face? You did know you was dead from the second you pull gun pon the man? You might as well did pull gun pon God. Me did have all them things for said to the two, but now, in the fort where Spanish man and British man and Jamaican man dead over years and years, reminding me that one day me too soon dead, me don't have nothing to say. And Tony Pavarotti never ever say nothing. But them saying plenty. Even with the gag, me can make out letter and word and sentence. Each blink of their red eye fierce and squeezing out tears. Beg you, Papa, do. Me never did involve. Look how me still poor. Beg you, Papa, do. The singer did already give me mercy. Beg you, Papa, do. All me know about is a horse race. Me no know about the ambush in the night. Beg you, Papa, do. Make me go out to sea, and me will swim way like mermaid to Cuba and never come back to Jamrock again. But me don't care. There's a bunch of man who ambushed the singer in the night. There's a bunch of man that pull gun on him at the beach 'cause they drag him into horse race con-plan fuckery him never have nothing to do with. A win in the air, say them one and same man. Another win, say them be two different entity. But even to that, me run out of words to say. Me just don't care. Them drive a gash between me and the singer, I cut that heel but leave a scar. Man must get punished for drawing gun, and man must get punished for firing it too. The devil who's standing waiting at the gate of hell can do all the sorting out. All this me think to say to the two, but don't. Me, Papa Lowe, the biggest, most magnificent man in the ghetto. Me might as well be Tony Pavarotti. He already dragging the first one through the bush out onto the black sand beach. The trick, the whole thing is, the whole reason was to bring him back, not for good, but to knock down the first domino. To bring him back for this concert, though we already talking things bigger than that, better than that. Things, boy, I don't know. Jamaica, you ready for it? My head hopeful, but not at ease. It's so uneasy that the only thing that put it to rest is remembering that poor Papa Lowe heart never at ease. I mean, what makes sense in England don't must make sense here. England is England and London is London. And when you're in a city so big, you also start to think big and talk big, and you foretell grand tidings. And then you come back to jam down, and you wonder if your head did swell too large. Plenty people, even in the middle of sufferation, going pick the bad they know over the good they can only dream about. Because who dream but madman and fool? Sometimes war stop, because you forget why you fight. Sometimes you're tired of warring. Sometimes people who dead come back to you in your sleep, and you can't remember them name. And sometimes you come to see that who you're supposed to fight, not even your enemy. Look pon Shatter Sheriff. The beach is sand until it reached the sea. There, it changed to rock that roll and tumble with the waves, and cackle like a woman duppy when more waves rush in. Kee, 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 kee. Tony Pavarotti dragged the boy right down to where sea hit sand, and kicked the back of his knee, so that he fall like he about to pray. And then he do. Quick and wild, like he can't get one word out before he rushing out the next. Kee, 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 kee. The boy in him white brief that yellow in the front, brown in the back. Tony Pavarotti in navy blue. Soldier shirt with epaulette and plenty pocket and gabardine pants roll up over him soldier boots right above the calf. Him steady the boy head slow with both hand, almost soft, almost like he taking care. The boy mistaking the soft touch for mercy. He crying again, and him head shaking too much. Tony still him head again. Kee, 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 kee. Pow. The boy in my hand screaming to the gag, but he also go weak, and I have to drag him to the beach. Water don't reach him pants yet, so I know the new wet is fresh piss. Tony leave the car on, and I can swear I hear the radio, but it's probably just the rock. Key. I drag this boy right beside the other body and push him down on him knee. I did make him keep on him green shots. I steady him head, but he turned just as I pulled the trigger. Pow! Pow through the side of him temple and an eye pop out. Key. He twitch and fall. Tony Pavarotti point to the sea, and I say no, leave them. Lockdown remind you that what make you brothers is not blood, but sufferation. And when as brothers you suffer together, you also get new wisdom together. Because I pick up a new wisdom the same time I shot a sheriff, and when we take a stop and realize that we really are the same mind, we take the reasoning to England and realize the singer have the same wisdom too. In fact, he wiser, since him did run him own house under that wisdom where for a long time enemy used to meet as friend, even when we fight like wild animal everywhere else. People think this is about a concert, or is about white man from the PNP shaking hands with white man from the JLP like you can fix cancer with a vaccine. Even me did know this concert was nothing, and me was the one who pulled up Siaga on stage myself. Shatta Sheriff was on the stage, but then him jump and start follow around Mick Jagger, who was walking up and down and reasoning with the people and vibing with the rhythm like he don't know the ground swarming with bad man. Every minute he flashing that big teeth grin. Make we kidnap Mick Jagger and hold him for $2 million, Shatta Sheriff say as joke. But then he watch Mick Jagger dip in and out of the crowd, and I know he start to think it for real. For white boy let loose and grin like rich politician picnic talking about them trip to Miami. Shatta chase off what he said with a ha ha ha, but the singer did hear him and shoot him a look Moses only wish him did have in 10 Commandments. Anyway, make them think he come back just to sing pretty song about love just cause he make pretty album. Make him go to sleep while we work like Nicodemus. Because when me and Shatta Sheriff done talk about planning the concert, we didn't stop talk. And we still talking now. The sun setting. Tony Pavarotti driving the car, and a song come on the radio. Do it light, do it through the night, shadow dancing. I know this song. My woman love it. Say some man named Gibb sing it. Me ask her how she know, and she shoot back. So you think me is ignorant woman? I laugh, because me been dancing with shadow in the dawn and in the night. Even in broad, bright daylight, we're searching for dark. It take 4 days to round up all the man from the horse racing Complan who pulled gun pon the singer. 1 night to put them in the cell that up to a few years ago, me, the Don of all Dons, was the only man in Copenhagen City who didn't know about it. Josie Wales have yet to explain that one to me. Early morning, we take the first 2 out. Only because them jump in front and was making the most noise. The first man, about how the naked man duppy with blue flame drape around him skin, and long shark teeth was eating their flesh all night and covering them out so they couldn't scream. The duppy slapped them across the cheek and punched them in the face 1, 2, 3, 4 times like a jackhammer. Both man eyes did swell and wet for true. The first man point to him chest, saying the duppy eat out him heart even though him chest have no mark. The second one didn't stop bawling about the snake eating away out through him head until it crawled out of him left eye. See the hole, he say, while pointing to him eye. All of them blabbering about the devil spit on their face when they wake up. The 2 wouldn't stop, so we stuffed them out with calico cloth and throw them in the car trunk. When we drag them out to the car, they don't even struggle. We take them to a part of Hellshire Beach that now closed off with a no trespassing sign. They walk at their own free will, which bother me. Me no like see people so ready for what come next. So me push one with the snake in him head, and he stumble. And he still don't say nothing. Just get up and keep walking. Tony Pavarotti put him hand on the first one's shoulder to push him down. But they both kneeled down fast and closed them eyes, whispering what sound like prayers. When the snake in the head man opened him eyes, they wet, and he nod again like he's saying, "Do it now, do it right now. I can't wait any longer." Tony Pavarotti walked behind them and shoot both quick. Even the baddest gunman bawled like baby for him life. But them boys quiet. Me wonder what them life come to when a man could be so ready to dead. Duppy dressed in blue fire to shit. I wonder what going wake me up in the middle of the night. When evening come, we take out the other two. Time is coming, passing and running. I know it leaving me behind, but damn if Josie going to make that happen to him. He going to run ahead of time and say, "Look, pussy hole, me reach before you. Me beat you just like you beat me in 1966. He leave all this to me, for he still never give no damn about the singer. Josie taking meetings with the Cuban who back again, even though for all him bombing and dynamite couldn't make JLP win in 1976. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die. When Babylon come for me and take me out of the way so man can shoot up the singer without me trying to stop it, Babylon also come for Shatta Sheriff. People from both sides start to think that we the Don of Dons no longer have any use. Put puss with dog and just bring a bucket for the blood. They think if them put all away, man from Copenhagen City and man from the 8 Lanes, in the same lockup and throw away the key, then we bound to kill each other. But something did die in jail. Something die for real. The first day, we circle each other like lion and tiger who get stuck in one jungle. Me sit in a cell in the east and find man loyal and ready, since at all times a good number of man from the ghetto reside in jail. Shatta Sheriff rests in the west, with man loyal to him. Both we get news of the other whereabouts and roundabouts, and nobody fall asleep without at least 2 eye watching. Didn't take long for man to hatch a plan. A man on my side act on him own and try to cut down one of Shatta man. Shatta Sheriff send message he going to cease one of my man in retaliation. Me send message that me never attack him, so why I'm going to attack me? He send message that one of my man pull out a dinner knife and cut a mark like a telephone in another man face when them go out for exercise. Me send message to Shatta Sheriff saying he should name the man. Treetop. That who it be in the message that come back. The next time we go out in the open, me walk up to Treetop myself and say, "Me youth, a long time me a check you still fi move up in the ranks. Let me see your knife." "Papa, then I must," him say. "Me going need you to prove to me what you can do by cutting a PNP pussy hole," me say while me holding him knife and testing how it's sharp. "Papa," him say, "me more previous than that. Tuesday, me done mark a youth. You want me deal with Shatta Sheriff case?" "What a way you eager, eh? No, me youth. You no need to do that. But learn this," me say, and ram the knife right through him neck and up him throat. Then me ram him again 3 times in the side of the neck while my men make a wall. Then we all break away, leaving the little pussy hole spraying blood on the ground and jerking like headless chicken. Shatta Sheriff send message later, saying it's true time with it talk. When puss and dog kill one another, the only one who win is Babylon. Me take this reasoning, and me reason pon it more. Babylon is a country. Babylon is a system. Babylon is oppressor, and Babylon infiltrate with police. Babylon get tired of waiting, so he put head puss and head dog in lockup for them to kill each other. But a different vibration come down pon the lockup, a positive vibration. Me and Shatta Sheriff play domino all the time after that, while Babylon hovering outside. And the only eye him got is the police. I hear him reasoning, he hear my reasoning, and the two of we make a new reasoning. Me release from jail first, and in January, them release Shatta Sheriff. First thing him do is find me. That night, January 9th, 1978, people with me and people with him put down gun, light candle, and start sing, "We ain't gonna study war no more." That night, Jacob Miller come through with a new tune, a boom shot from the Natty, a hit song named The Peace Treaty Special, which shoot up to #1. Positive vibration. But learn this, all nice and decent people. You walk into every situation with an injection needle or a gun. Some things you heal and some things you shoot. For lo and behold, all nice and decent people, the last movements of Babylon. January 5th, 4 days before we light candle and sing. Me feeling good, because it's too early in the year to feel the heaviness of it come down on you. But the new year reached the Wang Gang with no gun. Fool like fuck the Wang Gang. A Peter Nasser idea he couldn't control once outside of Copenhagen city. Yeah, there still was about, and still taking no instruction from the likes of me or even Josie. By the end of 1977, Wang Gang didn't have no gun, since even Peter Nasser realized you shouldn't arm man you can't control. Somebody tell them if they promise to use them to mow down some PNP youths in 2 of the 8 lanes and weaken the center, then Wang Gang can keep a shipment of guns that was to magically appear at this old bay in St. Catherine. This somebody was just going to leave a car trunk full of guns, and all them have to do is pick them up, start some ruckus in a PNP territory, and they can keep the guns. As usual, Wang Gang don't seek no counsel. They start to think big, since this somebody who informed them have personal connection in the defense force. They even get promised us some real work at the wharf, mostly security, where they could put them guns to use. Nobody ride for free in Jam Down. But the gang agree, and in the early morning, 2 army ambulance come down to Wang Gang lands and pick up 14 boy. 2 ambulance take them east or west Kingston, over past Port Henderson, across the bridge, past the 4 beaches of Portmore and up into the hilly cliff. When them reach Green Bay, the driver tell them to come out of the ambulance and wait right there. Another truck was going to come with the guns. None of them remember the army did say a car was coming, not a truck. Them boys see and wait. A soldier come up and start talk to the boy in charge. He and the soldier go into the bush when the other boys hear a single shot like the start of a race. And then, hatter claps. Jamaica Defense Force man come down upon them from afar and open fire. Soldier rush down upon the boys and start fire machine gun, while one big one hiding in the bush push through and start rat-a-tat-tat like this was war. Boy who managed to run into other soldier. Boy head blow off and drop. Man dash straight into thorn bush that rip off him skin until he reached the sea. 5 shot to death, more wounded, and 1 or 2 dive into the sea and get saved by fisherman. The rest scatter. The soldier come on TV and said them boys trespass upon them firing range in the middle of a shooting practice in the evening. Coming upon the TV and talking over the radio, the minister say, "No saints were killed in Green Bay." 3 days before the concert, we launch a protest about how people in the ghetto still shit and eat in the same place. When down swooped Babylon police force and killed 3 people, including a woman. The same minister again. "If 1 policeman is killed this year, the people who did it will be hunted down like dogs. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die." My first week in lockup, Babylon beat me round the clock. They wasn't searching for no news. They wasn't trying to turn me into no informer. They was just all taking their turn to show me who is the bigger boss. The police never come one at a time. Not after the first one come after me, and me give him a kick that send him balls right up into him brain. Afterwards, they come 2 by 2, 3 by 3, one time even 4. It's like them was in contest who make me ball out first win. The first 3, me mark them name, Watson, Grant, and Nevis, almost sneak in late at night. But as me hear the clang of the gate, they set upon me with baton. This is for what you do to Roderick, one say, and him widow. Then it must burn you that if you kill me, somebody going to deal with you, me say, and spit out my back tooth. Probably black from cavity anyway. After that, new police come nearly every night for a week, always with one of the first three as tour guide. The last night the four come, two hold down my face in the floor with smell of me own piss. They fold over a towel and put bath soap in it. Then, they take turn beating me in my back, singing 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. Me getting tired of this shit, so me tell Grant and Nevis to back off before me really get mad. They shocked me know them name, but that make them set pon me worse. 2 days later, both men asked for a few days leave. Grant wife might never use her left eye again, and Nevis's son arm and leg break. Nevis come to me cell, saying he personally going to kill me. I tell him I feel real bad about him, son, but now he have to take special care. Him little 13-year-old daughter Hyman don't get bust from the wrong man infiltrating it. It's always funny when a black man go white. When they finally let me out into the general area with my own men waiting for me, everybody around me hush and in gloom. At first, me did think they hear about Nevis's son and think that was going too far, or they was just showing me proper respect. But then me grab a newspaper from one of them, and there on the front page was the singer. Evening. Me and Pavarotti late. I don't have a watch, but I can count when time ticking away. Could do it from me was a boy. Plus my grandfather teach me how to tell time like a colon man. Hold on, him wasn't me grandfather. No man in the ghetto have grandfather. He was just an old man, unlucky to be the only man who lived to old age singing the colon man song. 1, 2, 3, 4, colon man a come. 1, 2, 3, 4, colon man a come. 1, 2, 3, 4, colon man a come, with him brass chain a like him belly bam bam bam. Ask him the time and him look up in the sun, with him brass chain a lick him belly bam bam bam. Pavarotti look at me blank. I didn't realize me was singing it out loud. So evening, maybe 7:30, but we near the sea, so nothing blocking the sun as it run away. Tony Pavarotti driving slow, and me not telling him to drive fast, and the disco music filling the space where otherwise 2 men would have to talk. First we think it was a Batty Boy vibe, but then the lyrics penetrate. Shadow dance for true. We shadow dancing as soon as light set to go. What done in darkness can never come back to light. We're riding against the sea in peace, and I thinking about how the second peace concert born in England. Because 1977 was nothing but war. The concert was calling for one love, and we charged $2 for the togetherness section, $5 for the love section, and $8 for the peace section. That way, if rich burnt-skinned white man and woman want to come, they can come too with no fear. Although there was no way in hell that was going to happen. Burnt-skinned white man don't want peace. He want Jamaica to become the USA state number 51. Shit, he would settle for just a colony. We do the concert, because whether you're green or you're orange, some place still don't have no toilet, and we have picnics surviving stick, stone, and bullet only to get killed by a drink of water. We do the concert because 1 in every 3 never have no work. And that was not just in the ghetto. We do the concert because Babylon was coming for all of we. The singer come back, but things did change in him. Where before he would grab you before he even see you, now he wait 1, 2 seconds and nod, or grab him chin and smile. Where he would finish a sentence you start, now he wait for you to finish, look right through you, and don't say nothing. Understand this, me didn't have nothing to do with December 1976, but I know he now sleep with one eye open, and that eye sometimes pon me. Me and Tony Pavarotti leaving the sea and turning for McGregor Gully. The concert. Me never get to see the peace concert in 1976, but me get to see the war right after. So April 22nd, me at this concert. Me on the stage. Me watch Siaga and Manley Farm steeple over the sing ahead. People are always looking for signs and wonders, but signs signal nothing, and nothing in a wonder to wonder about. The man me never going forget is Tosh. First me think this man come shit pon we concert. That man just had a thing for rubbing me the wrong way until me figure him out. And even when we figure him out and think we have an understanding, him still a little fuck up. Maybe because, more than the other two, him is the one Babylon fuck with the most, especially Babylon police. Just a month before the singer come back, the customs officer stopped Tosh at the airport and hold him for long. Here's what the officer whispered to him. Me looking for a reason to shoot you. Me didn't even want him too much, because a man like that never feel the positive vibration. Is the singer who did want him and convince him to come. Me not get between family and them affairs. Almost a month now, and it's still Tosh me remember. Tosh was the one who makes sure nobody ever forget. Right before the concert, he say, he not playing a Bumblecart concert because every man involved in that concert going to end up dead. Man come on the stage in the still hot evening wearing black from head to foot, like him official, like his CIA work for Rasta. The first thing he do is tell man to lock off them Bumblecart camera. Is word, sound, and power that break down the barriers of oppression and drive away transgression and rule equality. Well, right now, you have a system war go on in this country for a long ages and times. 400 years and the same bucky massa business and black inferiority and brown superiority and white superiority rule this little black country here for a long times. Well, I come with earthquake, lightning, and thunder to break down these barriers of oppression, drive away transgression, and rule equality between humble black people. Me stun like liquor boy when him first see a dead shotter. Even with the Rastaman vibration moving through me head, me never once think about the black. Even when me drive past plantation still standing, the last thing him say, if we no want go heaven, after you no business, I will be here a billion years. Mick Jagger prancing like a drunk goat, looking on like proud daddy. Me and Tony Pavarotti driving down the road. How much minute me just miss? I feel like when me fall asleep and wake up and the plane still in the air. Tony Pavarotti saying nothing. Return from McGregor Gully yet? Him nod yes, just as I remember. Maybe me just tired. Making things right is hard work, harder than crime. McGregor Gully always smell like shit and factory chemical run loose. People live round here, but me send message from 2 days ago that they better clear out when we coming. They can come back when we gone. Police wasn't going to find none of them, boy, but I was. 2 years me see and wait. See them a hide like pussy hole, while me wait for the singer to come back to deal with them for real. One man hide in jungle, and there be a mother to blame. Damn them and them mother love. Plenty woman killer remember Mother's Day. So mama hide son in her cupboard for over 1 year, until even she get tired of it. Lego beasts, crouched in cupboard with bread and roach and cheese and mouse for over a year. Come out only at night like him named Count Dracula. The little pussy hole never learned say if you want to hide in plain sight, then don't be a fool and get your mother to buy cocaine for you. Josie is the one who tipped me off. 7:45 in the morning. Babylon still asleep, like it always asleep when it come to justice. Me send word that it's time to deal with that little pussy hole. Fucking idiot. Me send 2 men to pull him out of the cupboard and bring him and the mother too. Me hear her scream, but nobody there, even though nobody ask her anything. Good Lord, woman can fool. When they bring the boy and him mother to me, right at me gate, the boy blinking from too much sunlight and him skin white from head to toe. Me don't want neither of them disgrace me premises with their presence, so me come out to the road. The mother bawling, "Do not take me boy, do not take me boy!" Me don't have no words for either, But me want the boy to see how much what him do cost and how he was going pay. The year in cupboard make him stop grow. He nothing but bone and skin, and he look at me all shifty like lizard, then stare back at the ground. This from the boy them call Lego Beast. I look at him mesh sleeveless, and him jeans shorts, which cut off too high, and the scab on him right shoulder. Lego Beast look at me again, and me take him in good. Size him up nice, then ball a quick tight fist and punch straight in the mother face. She stagger back and he yell. I grab her in the front of her dress before she stagger back too far, then 1, 2, 3 more punch straight in her face. Her lip burst like tomato, and her knees buckle, and me let her sink into the road. Put my finger together and slap her right cheek with a strike, then left, then right again, then left. Lego Beast bawling out for him mother. Me point one finger, and my man take him gun butt and clap him in the balls. People coming to watch. Let them watch. Let them remember how Papa Low discipline work. I slap her again, left, right, left. A woman scream out, "Do Papa show her mercy?" And me drop the fucking bitch and walk over to my man and take him gun. I walk right up to the woman and put the gun upon her forehead and say, "You want mercy? Let me show you bumbleclot mercy. Me will show her mercy if you come take her punishment." The woman back away. I walk back to the woman and kick her 2 times. Then me grab her left hand and drag her backside all the way back to her yard while the people follow. The boy bawl out for her mother. She not moving, so me tell a woman to bring a bumbleclot bucket of water now. She run and bring it back quick. Me dump the bucket upon the woman, and she nod and cough and scream. Me grab her hair and pull her head up so she can see me face. You have half hour to leave ya so seen, and me never want to see, smell, or hear about you again seen. Me see you, me kill you, your brother, your mother, and your daddy, and all your other picnic scene. 30 minutes and get out of me bumbleclot territory, or me'll make you watch me fucking kill him. Then me turn to the people. And hear this. Any one of you help her, any one of you even talk to this bitch, watch how fast me send you packing too. Me put the damn boy in the cell with the other men who shoot up the singer. One of them gone mad already, talking to himself, and shit him pants while him talk about how the radio in him head won't believe him dead. Him talk day and night, and in the morning, he talk about how the naked man Duppy with blue fire wrap around him skin, and long sharp teeth was eating him flesh all night and covering him mouth so he couldn't scream. And when the Duppy done eat, he just open him mouth and cover him face with spit so thick it's like jello. Me say, "Pussy hole? You know why your life going get cut short?" And him just say, "Jaliv, Jaliv, Jaliv."
This ends Disc 11.